Hey everybody, this is D Hunter bringing another action figure review. Today we're going to be looking at the McFarlane Mortal Kombat 11 Winter Purple Sub-Zero variant. This is part of the newest assortment of Mortal Kombat figures. I'm still trying to track down Shao Kahn from that assortment. I stumbled across this guy at Target the other day, and since my pre-order at both Walmart.com and Amazon is getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, I was able to pick this guy up at the store and cancel both my pre-orders. So let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging here. As you can see, ages 14 up. It says this is not a toy. Pretty funny. McFarlane Toys. You can see the Spawn logo there. Mortal Kombat 11 Sub-Zero. And here he is with his accessories. 2 axes, a skull, looks like a display stand in the back. It's pretty much the same Sub-Zero they've originally released, but a purple outfit. One side, you can see him posed up. Other side, it says Mortal Kombat 11. At the bottom, there is a barcode, as well as a bunch of credits. And then the back, here he is posed up. So with no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He does come with a display stand, 2 axes, and a skull. But before we take a look at the accessories, let's take a look at the actual figure. So this is Sub-Zero, and this is the Winter Purple variant. I believe this is the 4th Sub-Zero they've made so far, and this might be the most badass looking one. So let's take a look at him. As you can see on his face, he's got the purple facial covering, only his eyes are exposed. Got the headdress here, got armor on his shoulders. As we go further down, looks like double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. Got some knives permanently attached all over him. His outfit looks very good. I really like the sort of brown and purple colors. Very visually pleasing. And like I said before, this might be my favorite Sub-Zero they've made. I just really like the way he looks. Now let's take a look at his accessories, and let's start with the boring stuff. He comes with this display stand, typical McFarlane stand, black perfect circle, says Mortal Kombat at the bottom. It's got a peg for the peg holes on his feet. It's very thin, very basic. Now let's take a look at his skull. This is a human skull with some of the spine attached. It's semi-transparent, cast in a purple color. Looks good. As we go further down, it's translucent. This will probably end up going on my Predator shelf, but it's a very nice accessory for Sub-Zero. And here is his skull next to all the other variations of the skull that came with the other Sub-Zero figures. Here he is holding onto the skull, holding it up victoriously. Now let's look at his axes. These are casted in the same kind of plastic, purple, semi-transparent, and fully translucent at the bottom. And here are all the different axes the various versions of Sub-Zero have come with. And here he is, holding his 2 axes. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to top, he's sitting at about 7.1 inches tall, which is going to translate to about 18 centimeters. And now let's look at his articulation. Starting with his head here. His head can rotate from side to side, but it doesn't do too much. The articulation is at the base of the neck, not the top of the neck like most figures. Can look up and down a little bit, but like I said, it's very limited. You've got this little scarf thing here, and if you can't quite get it tucked in, it sort of obstructs and pushes back on anything you want to do. Shoulders on a ball joint. You can go out a little bit more than 90 degrees, up, down, around, all that good stuff. There is a butterfly joint between his shoulder and chest, increasing the range of motion. It's got a bicep cut below that, double jointed elbows below that. His wrist has a ball in it, can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. I believe he has some kind of articulation cut in his torso here, but you really can't do anything with it. He's got this sort of tunic on top, prevents anything from moving. There is a ball joint in his waist, can rotate from side to side, can go forward and back as well. Legs go out about this far, not a ball joint, but a similar type concept. Forward, about that far. Back, not too much. They can rotate, but really not at all. Double jointed knees below that. They go back that far. His ankle here has a ball in it, similar to the wrist. Goes up and down. It can tilt and rock a little bit and rotate as well. And there's toe articulation. Here he is taking on Liu Kang. Round 1, fight! Now let's check him out next to some other action figures, starting off with some other McFarlane Mortal Kombat figures. Here he is with the rest of this most recent assortment. We've got Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Liu Kang. I'm still trying to track down Shao Kahn. And there's also a platinum, bloodied up, exclusive chase version of Liu Kang and Shao Kahn. I would love to track those down, but I've had no luck so far, and the eBay prices are pretty horrible. And here he is next to the previous assortment of Mortal Kombat figures. These were some paint variants, also bloodied up. Then, here he is next to the original Sub-Zero figure. This one's become quite pricey in the aftermarket. And here he is next to all the different variations of Sub-Zero they've made so far. We've got a total of 4 of them, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's more to come. I will say, I think this purple winter version is my favorite of the 4. Then, here he is next to all the different variations of Scorpion they've made. He got just as much love as Sub-Zero, 4 different variations. Some more Mortal Kombat ninjas. And speaking of Mortal Kombat ninjas, we've also got these 2 variations of Katana. And here's my entire McFarlane Mortal Kombat collection. There's a total of 19 figures in front of you. I believe the only ones I'm missing that have been released so far could be Shao Kahn, then both the bloody version of Shao Kahn and Liu Kang, hoping to eventually complete the collection. Now let's check them out next to some other ninja figures. In my action figure world, this guy's going to double up not only as a Mortal Kombat figure, but also as a general, all-purpose ninja. In my Batman world, all my different Sub-Zero variations are going to be a special detachment of the League of Shadows working for Ra's al Ghul. Here he is, next to some NECA, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie foot soldiers. And here he is, next to some Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Gen U figures. Then, here he is, next to some DC Direct, Dark Archer figures from the TV show Arrow. These guys are League of Shadows members in the show. And here he is, next to some Mafex, Ra's al Ghul, and League of Shadows attire figures. Then, next to some Hasbro, Marvel Legends, Ronin figures. And here, with some Hasbro, Marvel Legends, Hand Ninjas. Then, next to some Hasbro, G.I. Joe Classified, Red Ninjas. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, to see how he fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Here he is, next to some DST, or Diamond Select Toys. And here he is, with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here he is, next to some NECA figures. Then with some Mattel wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here, next to some Mafex figures. Then, next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, here he is next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, this Sub-Zero is a very nice figure. His articulation is pretty good, a little bit dated as they haven't updated anything since the first Sub-Zero release, but I'm okay with that. His accessories are pretty cool. I think this is my favorite of the Sub-Zero figures they've made. I really like the way he looks with the purple and brown. It's very visually pleasing. If I were to rate this figure, I'd give him an 8 out of 10. I'm enjoying this figure quite a bit, and I see myself getting a lot of mileage out of this guy for a lot of different scenarios. Batman, Mortal Kombat, just a generic ninja. A lot of good stuff going on here. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.